Christians love to say, atheists actually believe in God. We're just suppressing the truth. Deep down, we know. We're just angry, rebellious, unwilling to bow. Yeah, cute theory. It's a shame it doesn't hold up. Because if you look closely at who's really faking belief, it's not the people who walked away. It's the people still sitting in the pews. Let me say it clearly. Christians don't actually believe in God, not in the way they pretend to. They believe in the idea of a God. They like the perks, the structure, the identity, the community, but the God part, the all-seeing, all-knowing judge of the universe. No, that's just set dressing. Because if they actually believed in a perfect, all-powerful, moral being, their lives would be different, and we all know it. They wouldn't be so comfortable lying to themselves, lying to others, lying for their pastors. They wouldn't support leaders who cheat, steal, rage, and abuse. They wouldn't treat forgiveness like a free pass. They wouldn't sin proudly Monday through Saturday and wipe it all clean with a song on Sunday. If you believe in God's judgment, you don't make bets with your soul. You don't gamble your afterlife on culture wars and tribalism. You don't treat grace like it's a loophole. You don't live like the camera's off when you claim the director never stops filming. But they do. Constantly. They say God is watching. Then they cheat on their taxes. They say Jesus is Lord. Then they deny food stamps, ignore the sick, and vote against compassion. They justify hate in the name of truth. They ignore suffering in the name of order. They worship power in the name of God. That's not belief. That's theater. They're not followers. They're actors. They wear God like a costume, so they can say what they want, do what they want, and still feel superior to everyone else. Because God said so is the ultimate conversation ender. It turns personal bias into divine command. And if anyone disagrees, well, they're not just wrong, they're evil. That's the real appeal of modern Christianity. Not humility, not morality, dominance. The power to be wrong and still win, to be cruel and still call it righteous, to never say, I don't know, because every answer is prepackaged and God approved. They say atheists are arrogant, but nothing is more arrogant than saying, the creator of the universe agrees with me on every issue, and the worst part, they know better. They've read the parts they skip in church. They've seen the verses that contradict each other. They've seen Christians fall, fail, and destroy lives in the name of faith, and they still pretend none of it matters. Why? Because the truth is inconvenient, and the illusion is useful. It gives them a team, a moral high ground, a divine stamp on their preferences. It gives them something even truth can't always offer. Certainty. And once you've tasted certainty, you'll defend it at all costs. Even if you have to lie to yourself to keep it. That's what this is. Not belief, just a well-practiced lie they keep telling themselves. And when someone like me points it out, they don't argue with evidence. They don't counter with reason. They just get mad. Because I'm not supposed to say it out loud. I'm not supposed to notice the cracks. I'm not supposed to light a match near the stage. But here's the truth. If you believe in hell, and you don't live like you're trying to avoid it, then you don't actually believe. You just like the uniform. You say we're the ones in denial, but let's look closer, because this doesn't look like faith. It looks like a costume party. They don't believe in a God, they believe in using one. God doesn't need to be real. He just needs to be useful. He gives them authority. He gives them control. He gives them the appearance of being righteous without ever having to be decent. With God on their side, they can silence opposition, deny rights, rewrite history, and justify every political grudge as divine warfare. That's not religion. That's branding. They talk about the fear of the Lord, but they fear criticism more. They talk about humility, but they worship certainty. And if God ever said anything inconvenient, they'd pretend he didn't. They'd call it a misinterpretation, or worse, Old Testament, because that's the beauty of a God who never speaks. You can say anything for him, and no one can prove you wrong. So when they say we're in denial, I laugh. We're not the ones ignoring evidence. We're not the ones explaining away suffering just to protect an image. They are. We're not the ones preaching morality, then voting for corruption. We're not the ones using a dead man on a cross to justify cruelty from a podium. They are. So no, I don't secretly believe in God. I just refuse to lie about it. But you've been lying to yourself for so long, you can't even tell the difference anymore. You don't fear hell. You don't seek heaven. You seek control. You want to be right. You want to win at all costs. And God, He's just the name you put on the scoreboard. You don't believe in God. You believe in being untouchable. And as long as people keep believing you believe, you get to keep the costume. But someday, the mask slips. And when it does, we'll all see what you actually worship. And it won't be divine. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.